Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Mr. Stephen Has a Dabble. It is, of course, Minecraft Monday. Welcome back to Minecraft Monday. Sorry if the video might be a little bit choppy at the moment. Things seem to be a little bit strange on my computer, but we'll come to that when we come to it. It's the Monday after New Year's. It's 2016. Hope you've had a good Christmas. Hope you've had a good New Year's. Sorry, I haven't been around really for about a month because I've not been very well, unfortunately. But back in the saddle now. Still got the Christmas decorations up. There's just a few on my shelf. I've got some here. Like a little snow globe, which is full of cocaine, and that reminds me of a good Wight Christmas. And we're back in the game. But I've made some massive changes to the game. So what we'll do now is just jump into game mode, and you'll be able to see what I've done. So first of all, we're in creative mode, and we're going to stay in creative mode for a while, because the last time I made a video I said, right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a ziggurat, and that's where we are right now. We're going to do that. But what I wanted to do, and as I explored Minecraft a lot more, and I've made tunnels and I've explored around a bit, and I know that there's different materials that you can get. I know that we've not reached the nether yet, and there's still a lot of the game that I haven't even looked at, let alone try to do. It's just become really apparent that to make stuff that I would want to make, I would need more resources. I didn't really have time to go out and get more resources in the last month, and you'll see why in just a minute. So what I've done is I've switched into creative mode, and creative mode is great because by pressing the inventory button, you've got access to every single possible building tool that you would like, that you would possibly want. It's all there. So just in order to create some of the fun things that we're going to create, I'm going to do that. And of course, for anything where we're going down a mine, or we're going to actually try and collect resources or what have you, because we're still going to be doing that at certain times, then we're going to be back in survival mode, and everything is very much let's make sure things don't die and stuff like that. So what have I been doing for this past month? Well, I've been playing Smite a lot, and I think I'm going to try and stream some Smite for you all at some point so that you can see what that's like. But also, I have been in Minecraft making everything flat. What do I mean by that? Well, I don't know if you remember the heads before, but there was a nice little mountain over to the left-hand side. Well, all of that has now gone, and I have this flat plane of stone, and this is the area where we are going to be building our ziggurat cum hotel. It's a pretty big. I've literally just chopped everything off. There's a tree there. Look, you can see that's just been chopped off, and I've done this. I started doing this, and it was a wrong thing. It took ages to sort of figure out how to do stone and build up sides and things, and then somebody mentioned there's a great tool called MC Edit, and that's for editing big parts of a Minecraft map all in one go. So the final thing I've just finished off tonight by making as flat a plane as I could across this large area, and this is going to be our resort. So it's going to be quite a nice resort. It's got these will be the grounds where you've got sort of pools and things like that. So hopefully our patrons will enjoy that. And the actual hotel is going to go up on this big thing here, and it's going to be a giant ziggurat, which will sort of sit there, and then we'll probably have some other stuff over here, maybe some outhouses and things, maybe a spa, maybe a that sort of thing. The ziggurat itself kind of fits with the old things that we've been creating, the heads, Stonehenge, which is over here if I just fly by it, And the other thing you'll be able to see that I've done, and again, this is using MC Edit. Instead of having this as cobblestone, I've been able to change this into real stone without actually having to rebuild the whole thing. So it's been really, really useful for some little things like that, just for adding a little bit of a flair to the things. But I want to be able to build in fun stuff like gold, big golden structures, big golden statues perhaps, or I might want to use diamond to do stuff. I don't know, but there's things that I'd like to try and get done in this, which is it would have taken hours and hours and hours of just collecting resources to be able to do this, and I didn't want you to have to sit through hours and hours and hours of different videos of me collecting resources, because quite frankly it's not fun. I mean, it's only fun for this bit because we've got we've got stuff to do. Obviously, yeah, nighttime things come out. That's not good. We'll go into here. If you remember, this is the tiki lounge which we built, which I've just made a bit more stony, just a bit flatter as a thing. I'll go and have a lie down for a bit. And the other good thing about being in creative mode is that it is creative. It means that we don't need these boxes to be able to sort of switch to a new material, which, again, is just kind of useful. So lots of things there. I apologise. The computer's being a bit choppy today. I don't know why. Which is why I can't close that door. So yes, this video may be choppy as well. Again, not sure why. So I'm not entirely sure the best way to start here. I think probably the best thing to do is to sort of have a look at some different materials and see what we could actually build out of that's going to look a bit impressive. I didn't want to build out of wool. I thought that was probably going too far. But if I get to somewhere that's a bit greener, we'll be able to take a look at some different blocks of stone and see what they look like. So let's come down here. Alright. So this is stone. Oh, we've got some stone there. That's stone. We have granite. Granite doesn't quite look right. I'd like a sort of sandstone kind of thing, and there's sandstone down here, or chiseled sandstone, or indeed smooth sandstone, and I think we probably want a combination of chiseled and smooth, and I'm going to keep the stone out. The other great thing is we don't need our tools here, so I'll just switch on to this is the survival inventory, which is that's what I've legitimately mined and made. And then over here is the normal, ordinary, everyday inventory. So we'll have some chiseled sandstone. We'll have some smooth sandstone. We've got stone there. There's chiseled something or other else as well. Oh, we've got some quartz there. That's fun. I don't know what the difference between those two is. It doesn't look any different even from here. And that's red sandstone. So we're gonna try and get some red sandstone as well. Okay, smooth red sandstone. Red sandstone. And stuff like this we can come back for later. And the decoration blocks and stuff we can... Right. So we just want some quartz now as well. And quartz... I think I'm going to go with quartz rather than sandstone. So let's go with. Let's go over here, like this, and then we've got that, and that. I don't think we need any of that. Now the quartz materials, we might want a slab, and I'm just thinking, what's the one thing that we could get rid of easily and have a slab? Well, it's probably the chiseled stone bricks. I'll get rid of that as well. What's over here? And then we'll start with quartz for everything else. So that's what we're going to be building out of. And we'll come over here. And essentially what we want to do is make a massive square, because the bottom of this is going to be just this giant square. And we can start... we're kind of constrained on this to the dimensions of this bit here, unless we start a bit further in, which might not be a bad idea. But I did want to kind of butt up against here, because I did want a special underground layer, which we'll go into later on. But I wanted things like a lift to the tiki lounge inside the head, so I kind of wanted that almost built in. However, we'll come down here. And go into normal walking mode. And I think this is as good a place as any to put our first bit of building down. I like the quartz. I like the texture, and it probably is just this texture pack, but that's a really nice texture for a thing. Okay, so now essentially what we're doing here is building the outer wall, which, if you're facing the building, will be on the left-hand side. This is the other great thing about creative mode. You make a mistake, one click, and the block has gone. Let me just check where we are. Yeah, okay, we've got plenty of room to go. I'm not very good at doing this quickly. Oops. Okay, so I don't want to go all the way in. I'll just get rid of those. Actually, no, we can leave those there because they're going to be there anyway. And this will be a grand entrance. That's great. That big block along here, we'll have that as a grand entrance at some point. But now we're going to go back over here because we, as I said before, we are constrained by the size of this. Okay, and that's the sort of the constrained size that we have. And the only reason that we're constrained like that is because we end up running off the edge, which we don't really want to do. So the next bit is to same again. And the other great thing about creative mode is you don't run out of stuff. So there's none of that messing around in boats. Anyone who gets that reference, that's great. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I know there's several people who like to view all the videos. What I'd like to do is start to run some competitions and things, just to give away a few things, maybe some Steam keys, something fun like that. Now you can see I've built a wall there, which is far bigger than than it needed to be, but that's okay. We can get rid of that later. So yeah, one of the things I'd like to do is run some competitions and things. And what I'd like to know is, what sort of competitions do you think I should run? Because I'm up for doing all sorts of different things, and making some fun things. Maybe giving away copies of Minecraft or something like that, so you guys can play it. Or maybe giving away copies of other games. If so, what games would you like to see given away? I can't do sort of really expensive ones or anything, but I can do some fun things in Steam. Maybe some of the games that Joe and I have played together. Maybe maybe even Batman, or maybe something like that. Or maybe there's just something that is going to capture people's attention when they come in here. I don't know. So let me know if anyone has any preference to any of this. Now, the next thing to do on here is we're going to have to build the walls up. Now, one of the things that I'm aware of is that there needs to be a big sort of entrance. And we're going to build the entrance by building out walls like this. And it could be sort of double door size, so maybe up here. And we'll get rid of those. And we want a lot of glass on this, so we might want to build up some pillars. Now, I did notice there was a pillar quartz block. Oops. Yeah, you see what it's done there. You see, it's got a kind of pillar effect on it. That's quite nice. And use our flight mode here to sort of build this up the way that we want it to look. And we'll use that on the corners as well, so that's going to look nice. Now it's night time again, and again on creative mode, the different creatures don't really worry you that much, but one thing that annoys me is just how dark it gets and how dark it will get on the video as well. So let's zoom over here. One of the first things I'm going to be making is a little room for me to just lie in during the night, so we won't have to come back to this every time we want to play. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got a little area in here which doesn't do anything yet, and if I bring up E and find a bed, we'll just grab a bed there. And then E again, and I can get rid of that. And we're sleeping in a bed until the morning. And it's morning because everything is burning. Isn't that nice? I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, actually, the one thing that I was a bit unsure of is exactly what I've done, which is I wanted to use maybe this water in order to make things a bit more fun, but maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have to cover it over. I don't know where the centre of this ziggurat is. If I go up high, I'm not bad. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look too different, and I've seen worse things. What I need now is to build some of this out, and I think very much, the top level of this we'll probably have to get rid of. And it's a massive area, so there's an awful lot more carving out work I'll have to do here. But I think we need to put in quartz here all the way around. Because it needs to look posh. It needs to look like a really good hotel resort, something that you might find in Vegas, that kind of thing. That's what we're going for here. I can't tell you the amount of hours that we would have had to have been creating stuff for to be able to do this. I say creating, I mean, you know, finding resources. Okay. That's our stairs leading up. Now if I go out of flight mode into normal mode, that's our stairs leading up to the big quartz thing. I think for the entranceway we're probably going to want to have another one block on top of that, so we'll have another pillar block up there. There perhaps, and there. And those two at the back need one more. And now the next thing that we're going to have to do is that we're going to use some chiseled quartz there to do the thing that's running across the top. So there's 8, so we can do 4, which means those middle 2 need to be Believe it or not, there's a method to my madness here. What I'm doing is I'm just creating a frame that we can put some glass in. In fact, we're going to do that now. We'll find some glass. Now we can have different coloured glass here, and I like this sort of white stained glass. For what we're doing, I think it's probably the best option. So we'll just come out of that. Just stick that in here. Oops. You see, that's one of the things that, you know, I just typed in EW. I've no idea what fireworks star. I never would have come across a fireworks star before. I don't know what it does. I don't think I'll ever find out what it does. At least not with this building, because that's kind of not the point of this building. But Modern hotels, they've got lots of glass in, so we're going to follow that idea. Lots of glass in a hotel, and that means lots of glass. And I think what we also want to do here is have the chiseled quartz blocks on top of there. So that this is a thing. This is a repeated pattern. That's what I mean, a repeated pattern. And then we could just use normal ones to fill in some of the gaps there. I don't know if this is going to work. It might look rubbish when I've actually done it. Then again, it might not. Yeah, you see, I don't think that works. I think it needs a lot more light in an entranceway. So it might need some sort of struts of quartz. And I think we'll fill this sort of bit in here. But I'd like the rest of it to be glass if possible. I have to get better at building. I'm very aware that I don't do building very well. It takes me a while to sort of get the things, perhaps. No, go away. That's better. So that's what we see when we go in. And our first level of this whole ziggurat then needs to come up to there, come up to this point. Which means the walls behind this need to be slightly higher. And actually what I'm thinking now is that this whole entranceway needs to be moved forward a bit, which is not the easiest thing to do in the world. I think actually the easier route might be to just grab some quartz and we'll let's delete these whole blocks here. So I'm leaning to the left because I want to go left a bit. And I realise it's nighttime again, so I'll need to do that whole nighttime thing of going to sleep. But before we do, I just wanted to start building some of this up so that we're sort of aware of where we're going with this. Look at that big full moon there. Okay, so that's level 1 of this giant ziggurat. I knew it would be big. I wasn't quite sure it would be that big. Anyway, I'm going to retire for the night, as indeed should you all. And that's the end of this first Minecraft Monday of 2016. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I know it's a bit of a slow build because it's quite a big area, but you know we're going to be doing more of this as we go along. So hopefully I'll get some feedback from you guys, which would be great. I know there's a lot of people out there who like to comment on the videos. Or please do comment, please do subscribe and like and do all of those things that you would normally do to a video. It's been a pleasure working for you here tonight, building. This is as far as I get as being in construction, quite frankly. So yeah, if you liked the video, please do share it with other people. It'd be lovely to have your comments and all of those things. But for now, this has been me having a dabble. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and don't forget Friday. Friday is another Batman day, and very soon I'll be doing some collabs with some various different people. So do watch out for those on the channel as well. Goodbye, everyone. Have an awesome week, and welcome to 2016.